Welcome back to the Steadyhand YouTube channel, where we make investing a simpler, more enjoyable experience. Today we're talking about robo-advisors like Wealthsimple, Nestwealth, Betterment, companies that were media darlings just a few years ago, and for good reason. They threaten to shake up the sleepy, boring world of investing by offering reasonably priced options for, well, anybody. And that's a big deal, especially here in Canada, where the average person just doesn't have options. In fact, Steadyhand is one of the few places Canadians with less than $1 million can turn to for hands-on investment advice at a low price. Outside of that, you've got to go to the bank branch where you pay a lot in fees and you end up getting a new advisor every few months. Just not a great experience altogether. Well, these robo-advisors, they promise to change that status quo. How? Well, as the name suggests, the idea is that you don't speak to anyone. In very simple terms, investors fill out an online questionnaire, and the responses lead to pre-built portfolios that you can invest in. And because the experience is mostly automated, the fees tend to be more reasonable too. It's a pretty cool concept altogether. But these days, we don't hear as much about these robo-advisors anymore, and when we do, it's for the wrong reasons. So in this video, I'll tell you how 5 companies that started off as robo-advisors here in Canada have evolved. And I'll also briefly talk about 3 big US robo-advisors. For here in Canada, we have to start with Wealthsimple. The company's ads are everywhere. And today you might know of Wealthsimple as a trading platform that you can use to buy or sell crypto and stocks. But Wealthsimple started off as a robo-advisors, and it really did set the standard on, well, making things simple. The sign-up process was easy, clean website, nice app. All of this was pretty rare. And so the company was making a lot of headlines. Unfortunately, to paraphrase Obi-Wan Kenobi, Wealthsimple became the very thing it swore to destroy, because Power Corp, a big financial conglomerate, and some of its related businesses became the largest owners of Wealthsimple. And Power Corp is a multi-billion-dollar company that owns Investors Group, Great-West Life, and many other large financial companies. Over the years, Wealthsimple's services grew, and now the ad campaigns have shifted towards that trading platform for crypto and stocks, which I can only assume make it way more money. And recently, unfortunately, it's gotten some negative press too, having to lay off 13% of its staff. Now, at around the same time Wealthsimple launched here in Canada, there was also another robo-advisor getting off the ground. Nestwealth was never as showy, but it offered a very similar service to Wealthsimple, a cheap option for Canadians looking for an alternative. Over the years, however, Nestwealth has also shared some of the traits of its more flashy cousin. A large financial company has invested in Nestwealth. In this case, it was National Bank. And Nestwealth has also pivoted. Today, it appears to be more focused on selling technology solutions to advisors and wealth management firms. Next, we've got WealthBar, which was also an early adopter. WealthBar was based here in Vancouver, and I, for one, really liked how they approached advice and service. So I was a little surprised, and I have to admit, quite disappointed when the owners sold the company to CI Financial. And CI made it very clear that it was not interested in supporting the robo-advice business when they folded WealthBar into virtual brokers. And that whole business is now branded as CI Direct Investing, and it's basically just a discount broker that you can buy stocks on. So WealthBar no longer exists, and Nestwealth and Wealthsimple have pivoted. So who's making individuals their main focus here in Canada? Well, Modern Advisor and Just Wealth are still doing that. And they've been around for a number of years. In fact, Modern Advisor has been around since 2013, making it one of the oldest robo-advisors in Canada. Canadian robo-advisors drew inspiration from their US counterparts. And there are 2 companies that blazed the trail, Betterment and Wealthfront. Now, Betterment continues to provide investment solutions to Americans, but Wealthfront was recently purchased by Swiss bank UBS, one of the largest banks in the world, which caters mainly to wealthy people. And it announced that Wealthfront was going to be the digital solution for affluent investors, which is incredibly ironic when you think about it, because robo-advisors started as an alternative to traditional financial companies by providing a solution to the masses. But now Wealthfront, one of the original robo-advisors, is owned by a Swiss bank and will serve rich people. It's kind of sad. Now, there is one other US company that we have to talk about. Charles Schwab offers a number of investment services. Its robo-advising arm is the one that grew as one of the biggest in its arsenal. but it paid a whopping $187 million to settle an investigation into some of its practices. And I won't get into those practices today, but you should definitely read about it. It's some ridiculous stuff that it was doing. There are a couple of themes here. First, a lot of them use wealth in their name, which is an interesting coincidence. But also, many pivoted away from their original purpose of making investing accessible, which is disappointing. But the mere threat that they presented a few years ago has actually still made the industry better. Investment companies were forced to put money into the client experience because what these robo-advisors offered was so slick. So today, most investment firms offer online onboarding, they allow for e-signatures, websites have gotten better, and so have the client portals. So while their presence appears to have been brief, their overall impact is more long-lasting. If you are looking for some of the elements that the robo-advisors provided, like accessibility and low fees, but you'd like to have a relationship with an advisor, then make sure you join us for one of our monthly Straight Talk with Steadyhand sessions, where we talk about the kinds of topics on investors' minds. We'll include a link in the description below. And as always, if you like this video, then make sure you hit the like button and subscribe.